Kiss the rings, bitch.
What up? What up? What up, YouTube? Get excited. Get excited. The time has finally come. It is almost here. We have official confirmation. Rebirth Island is coming back to us. Later on in the video, we're going to break down and unpack what's new, what stayed the same, talk about the POIs, talk about the release date, new features, all of that stuff. In the background, you can see the official trailer for Rebirth Island. And on April 3rd, we have what they are calling Rebirth Day. I am beyond excited. This is the map we've all been waiting for. Bringing the excitement, the nostalgia back to Warzone, what we fell in love with during the pandemic, is all embodied within this map right here. I've got over 500 wins to my name on this map. I am beyond excited. Can't put it into words how excited I am. This part of the video was a hot point for a lot of people because it looks like they're breaking the map, which they've seemed to have done anytime they re-release a map, but we'll talk about that later on with the infill strikes. Here we go, the official post from the Call of Duty account on X, on Twitter. No, it's not our birthday, but on April 3rd, it's Rebirth Day, and everyone's invited. They've got the WSP Swarm blueprint that you can tweet at Call of Duty, hashtag Rebirthday, and add your Activision ID to that, and you're going to get the caked up blueprint. Here we go, guys. Rebirth Island returns at the launch of Season 3. The island feels incredibly familiar. Veteran players will find all the points of interest instantly recognizable. The structures and topography of the island remain intact. Here in the bottom part, swimming and water combat, submerged in new shoreline access points, biometric scanners, smart displays, weapon trade stations, a new Resurgence Champions quest, so we have a nuke in this game mode, variable time of day that changes atmospheric mood, but not the visibility of the action. I'd like to get into that one, see what that's about, because Vondel is a little hard to see at times. Infill strikes where the water tower, lighthouse, and even the prison roof are destroyed as your infill begins. We'll detail all of this later in the blog post, but for the moment, let's reacquaint ourselves with the 11 major POIs across Rebirth Island. Here we go, our first POI, bioweapons, one of the best hot drop areas for this map. Landing on the roof, you're gonna get mixy. One of the bona fide hot drops, this 3-floor brick and steel building is easily spotted on its coastal corner along the northern edge of the island. While much of the structure has been left to rust and decay over the decades, the Coney Group has thoroughly modernized the 3rd-floor laboratory with the latest in research technology. The same cannot be said for the atrocious basement showers and the remains of an office floor within the building. A great place to make a stand, the roof is accessible by parachute and by interior and exterior stairs. For a quick escape, take the zip line over to chemical engineering. That is something new. We did not have that zip line before. We do still have the multiple stairways on the outside to give you some outplayability, some flanking maneuver space, all of that. Next up is one of my favorite regain spots on the whole map because it has a ton of loot. You can regain, get guns, plates, money, all of that stuff to kind of reset your squad if you didn't have a good drop. This is industry. This low-lying structure nestled below the helipad plateau has received more than a new coat of red and white paint. But the flanking alley between the two areas is still a good place to take cover, and there are plenty of doors and breakable windows allowing you access into the main 2-floor interior. Head to the southeast area of the building to the bridge connecting to the road close to the prison. I've seen the inside images of this building as well. They didn't touch a single thing. The only thing that they did was just change the color scheme on the inside. It's got like new painted floors, but other than that, the inside of this building looks the exact same as what you're going to remember from before. And if you remember, at the back of industry, there was that underground stairwell that led to chemical engineering, and that still is there as well. So we're going to take that path, and we're going to end up at chemical engineering. One of the few POIs to receive a complete retrofit. This area is painted in orange and white and is easily identified by the smokestacks rising from its roof. From the roadside or rocky shoreline, there are numerous entry points, and the low exterior ground level below the road offers a tunnel to industry as well as protection Investigate the zipline and ascenders before you enter the main L-shaped factory floor, featuring huge chemical tanks and a row of control systems, as well as smaller rooms and links to the adjacent building. So, like I did just mention, here in this image, they do mention the tunnel system that ran from chemical engineering over to industry. Next up, dock. Not really the best spot to land. You are low point, low elevation, really from everywhere. You've got industry, you've got the side of dock right here. You've also got low area from chemical engineering, I believe, or from bioweapons. So this is just a really bad, awkward spot. This is more of like a getaway place, in my opinion. This POI stretches all along the northern shoreline of the map, beginning with the sewage treatment plant connected to industry. Adjacent to that is Power Room 04, jutting out on an elevated concrete structure. Rusting catwalks connect these areas. There's both an open bunker door and a submerged pipe leading into a completely waterlogged bunker, and likely a few secrets lost to the waves. So it sounds like this area is probably going to have an Easter egg tied to it. And here you also have mention of water play. So we are going to have a water tunnel system that's going to lead to another part of the area from this dock area. Control Center. One of the demon's favorite hot drop spots. Roof at Control Center, super hot. Just like bioweapons, just like Prison Roof. Once a construction site, this piece of brutalist architecture features a main building connected to a smaller section via a covered breezeway and a concrete exterior forecourt behind the structure. You've excellent vantage points to prison and out towards living quarters. Inside, even the larger of the two buildings has tight interior spacing with several offices on 2 floors to explore, ideally in tack stance. The big building here and even the small building, they all had stairways, so stairways with windows, a lot of outplayability. You could really flank somebody here. If somebody was caught chasing and you knew the hot points or you knew how to finesse people, you had a serious advantage in Control Center. Here it is. My personal favorite drop spot, the prison. Didn't really ever like to land roof here, but my squad did love to land low in the middle of the main prison or the shower area. It was always super mixy here. Prison overview and rooftop. Right in the center of the action, the sprawling prison complex is the main draw for operators and the largest building on the map. There are numerous points of entry via the paved walkway, various staircases, ramps, and even the tunnel on the grassy bank above the docks. Scattered ascenders and exterior ladders also provide direct access to the roof. This looks out across the entire island with a 360-degree view of your surroundings, though you are vulnerable to enemy fire. The central roof has rows of pitched skylights with several openings allowing you to drop into the prison, as well as a tram platform that shuttles you back and forth to the harbor. So they still do have that shuttle system down to harbor, and from the trailer, it looks like you're actually going to be able to interact with that zip line and not just have to wait for the trolley car to come down to you. You can actually take that zip line up to the trolley car. From prison, we go to harbor. In this top right image, you can actually see what looks like that zip line with the shuttle system that I was mentioning before up to prison. The southern part of harbor stretches between chemical engineering and factory, and the concrete shoreline provides quick traversal with several smaller buildings offering the chance to lose pursuers and find cover. The lower tram platform sits adjacent to the factory and offers a ride up to the prison rooftop. Next to that is a red roof building with a covered tunnel-like service road under its dilapidated frame connected to a gray and white storage structure that Coney Group seemed to have forgotten about. Not a great place. In my opinion, these buildings are very narrow. They're very one-directional. There's not a lot of cover, a lot of outplayability. In my opinion, it's just one of the worst areas of the map. Headquarters, a lot of people's favorite area. Top left image, you see that green roof building that everybody has grown to love, that they have so affectionately named Grandma's House. One of the top drop spots for a lot of demons. Everybody loves this Joe Woe swag. A lot of content creators tweeted about this location in particular. Not to be confused with the Control Center POI, the brown and stone structure with the truck parked outside offers excellent views surrounding this upper plateau. The explorable interior allows for cover and access to the roof. Next to that is the green roof garrison, once offering a comfortable interior living space, but now is a place for vicious combat, Grandma's house. It also has some interesting chambers below its main structure. Then you also have the lighthouse there as well. We now come to Factory, another area that's not really my favorite spot, but the small building that you see in that upper left image did have a lot of good loot. So if you needed a regain spot, that's one that may still be good as long as they haven't changed the loot pool system too much from what it used to be. Clad in muddy white corrugated metal, the Factory is the largest feature on the southwestern shoreline. This commanding 3-floor building and basement comes with an exterior gantry overlooking the dockside and harbor, and ascenders offer rapid access to the rooftop. Inside are control rooms with the lower floor mid-sized storage room half filled with barrels and boxes. This is where you'll find a long concrete tunnel hallway with covered access to and from Factory. Towards Stronghold is a single level brick office with a pitched roof and views across the docks. So that is the building that I believe I was talking about that used to have a lot of money in it. Living quarters, the tent area. One of my favorite places to drop. So much outplayability. It looks like the UAV tower is still there in the middle of the tents as well. On the low plateau overlooking Stronghold is a sprawling network of military tents, medical prefabs, and a small office building. Up the craggy rocks is headquarters. Although the structures may have changed over the years, their position is not. This is a great place to get off the road and get out of sight. Also, note the storage room near the pathway switchbacks and jetty accessible by the coastal road, as well as a strange and locked bunker door. How does that open? So it sounds like we may have our second Easter egg here with that locked bunker. Last but not least, our last POI that we need to talk about here today, Stronghold. This area was most recently redone out of all the POIs. A lot of these buildings, when this map first came out, if you guys remember, these buildings were not here. That radar tower was not there. They've really added a lot to this area of the map over time. Another favorite location for operators to drop into. The southwestern corner of Rebirth Island consists of a complex, low-lying construction site and an old checkpoint in need of repair. A rear roundabout, a helipad, and a landmark satellite tower. There's plenty of caches, vehicles, and barricades to utilize, as well as confined offices and a covered walkway across the checkpoint. Climb the tower for an elevated and commanding view from the various levels. If all else fails, remember, you can jump onto the shoreline rocks or even swim to reposition to a more advantageous location. That radar tower, if you guys remember, they had the Easter egg with the key cards, and this is the building that you would actually have to go to in order to get special, which is coming back in the Season 3 update. Here comes a hot topic. Man, did this next thing have a lot of people mad when the trailer first dropped. But Raven Software ended up clearing up the confusion, the noise. These are the infill strikes. Rebirth Island has numerous landmarks you utilize in almost every game, but what if one of those locations was leveled by an airstrike just prior to infill? Keep your wits about you and learn new tactical movement across the rubble-filled scenery. Should an infill strike occur during a match, these explosive infill elements occur rarely and randomly, adding new gameplay experiences to that match. On certain drops, prepare to adjust your drop point and dynamic movement around a particular POI, as these infill strikes destroy one of the following. The 3 that the infill strike is going to destroy is going to be Lighthouse, Prison, and the Water Tower. The Lighthouse Tower at headquarters topples into the forecourt in the corner of the prison below, creating rubble ramps to the adjacent building and prison. This was the one that had the world upset for like 40 minutes before it was cleared up. The prison. An aerial bombardment creates a large plume of smoke and a massive fracture across the prison roof, with numerous small fires and rubble piles inside the now visible interior. I actually really like this. I'm looking forward to it. It gives you a new avenue, a new way to get up to the roof from the inside. A lot of people were going crazy when this image or this part of the video first came out because everybody thought Call of Duty just put a hole in the top of prison. And the third area that will potentially get hit with the infill strike is the water tower towards the rear of prison. Missiles strike the tower's central platform and it crashes down into the plateau close to the helipad. A mass of mangled steel, the tank is ripped open in several places. So it does look like you're going to be able to crawl into that water tank and maybe be able to hit some snipes or get a little bit of cover in an area that doesn't really offer too much cover. As you can see in the image, they've introduced spy drones, which seem to be a new way for you to earn loot for you and your squad. Confirmation that spy drones of unknown origin have been observed within the area of operations has resulted in a new contract to undertake. You and your squad are to locate the drones, which appear to be gathering data at a specific destination. Head to the rendezvous point and immediately destroy them. Expect additional rewards for neutralizing the swarm in rapid succession, and ensure you inspect the vicinity for dropped armor plates, redeployed drones, and possibly an advanced UAV. Fair warning, enemy operators active in the area can steal these rewards from you. The next piece of information seems to just be a reskin. This is the utility box. I'm not even going to read the whole description here. It's basically a reskin of what my squad and my teammates called the scary box from the haunting event. If you guys remember, there was a box instead of a munitions box or an armor box. You just had an option to loot a box that would give you both armor plates and munitions. Another new thing added that appears to give you a little bit of intel or reward for you and your squad mates is the Foresight feature. To be forewarned is to be forearmed. And for those wanting a less bombastic kill streak, Foresight can offer incredible insight regarding the future of your match. Returning from the original Call of Duty Warzone, Foresight was last available at a containment monitor station and in the black market. For Season 3, Foresight becomes a kill streak, a piece of rare loot purchasable at a buy station or found on the corpse of a fallen foe. Foresight shows you the location of every future gas circle so you'll know where the game ends. Plan your tactics accordingly. So this is kind of like that contract that you could do where every time you would do another portion of the contract, you would get another circle revealed to you to find out where the end game was going to be. Specialist, the God tier perk. It's back. The most prized perk possession in all of Call of Duty Warzone returns. This hexagon of omnipotence may be incredibly difficult to discover. In fact, it's only very rarely found at a redacted or in specific redacted. But its effectiveness cannot be understated. Once found, this grants you every applicable perk in the game and continues to function even if you subsequently access your loadout drop with your chosen perks. In addition to the default perks available to all operators, tac pads, commando gloves, quick grip gloves, climbing boots, and overkill, Specialist grants you the advantages of the following 29 additional perks, but only for the remainder of the match. I'm not going to list all the perks, but it is going to give you every single perk in the game from perk slots 1 and 2, perk slot 3, and perk slot 4. Unfortunately, they've redacted where we're going to find it, but I'm sure there's going to be videos that will come out revealing its location, and I'm almost positive it's going to be tied to one of those 2 Easter egg locations that we talked about earlier in this video. This next one seems a bit unnecessary to me. It reminds me of something that they tried to do on Vondel and it didn't work out. It actually bugged the game out or bugged the map out. But this is the smart display panels. Bolted onto both exterior and interior walls across Rebirth Island are over a dozen smart display panels, offering operators the latest in Coney propaganda, the general weather forecast for Rebirth Island, and more tactically, where the largest heat zone is, the congregation of players fighting during a match. Operators who've secured biometric scanner keycards may also be shown on these big screens, as well as the first demon operator to hit 10, 15, or even 20 kills in a game, so you know who to take down or to avoid. Unsubstantiated rumors also indicate redacted comms from an unknown entity have occasionally breached the security systems running these displays. So like I mentioned before, they tried this in Vondel and it bugged the map. I don't know why they're trying to run it back. Hopefully they've got this issue figured out because it'll just add a little bit more intimacy and intrigue to your gameplay. Which brings us to our last feature that we're going to cover, which is another reskin of a feature that we've had in this map before, but it is a good one. It's the weapon trade system. I'm not going to really go through all the notes here on this page, but to just generalize what this is. You have an item, a gun. You go up to this weapon trade system. You're going to hold down your interact button. It's going to take like 5 to 7 seconds. And at that time, for exchanging that item, you're going to get another piece of loot back from the weapon trade system. The higher tier your weapon is that you're trading in, the higher value of the item that you will receive back. I want to say that there was like 5 of these stations placed across the map. I remember one was inside the prison, one was here at the tunnel system by the prison. There's another one that's off to the side a little bit lower, but it's just something that they're bringing back, just a little small quality of life improvement. We're going to wrap up this video by announcing some exciting news that I'm very excited for, that this trailer and this press release from Call of Duty verified for us. Ranked play will be on Rebirth Island Resurgence mode for Season 3. They were talking about potentially putting it onto the big map, but we have official confirmation that it will be on Rebirth Island. Here are some of the tier ranked rewards for what looks like it's going to be the ranked Season 3 rewards. A lot of it looks the same to me, like the shark, the rhino, the gorilla. Those calling cards I know are a 1-for-1 exact duplication from the rewards that we have from the Fortune's Keep ranked resurgence, as well as that Go emblem at rank 25. So it looks like they're just going to be reskinning a lot of the rewards for this. But needless to say, I'm thrilled that Rebirth Island is going to be the ranked mode that we have for Season 3. Here, it looks like the operator skins for your division that you finish in, they're probably going to be a 1-for-1 duplication as from what we've seen from the Fortune's Keep ranked rewards. But hey, like I said, we're just happy. We're so thrilled that Rebirth Island is back. So that is going to conclude today's video. If you guys are as excited as I am that Rebirth Island is coming back to us April 3rd, please leave a comment down below. Smash the like button. In the comments, let me know what POI are you most excited to drop into. I know for myself and my squad, we're definitely going to be dropping in at prison. Thank you all for stopping by. And oh, don't forget to
kiss the rings, bitch.